Greetings in the name of Yahusha HaMashiach, Melech of Yasharal, Kohen forever, according to the order of Melchizedek. All esteem, honor, and glory unto our Alua Yahuwah. My name is Mikael Shalomo. It's MELEK Shelemoh Trading. Today is the 2nd of April, 2025. It's 8:42 a.m. Eastern Time. And let me just play this risk disclosure before we get into the trade setup for today. You may hear some alerts from YouTube. I mean, not YouTube, Bookmap in the background. So my apologies if they kind of distort this risk disclosure, right? So I'm gonna play it. You could read along if you want, if you don't hear it, right?
General disclosure. All MELEK Shelemoh Trading
Stock
LLC
run
materials,
by Wipeout.
information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure. Trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
$5,620. Whoa. NQ stock run.
All right, so let's start with the news. Let's see what we have incoming today. All right, first one here we have USD ADP non-farm employment change. Let's change the color on that. All right. Right, so we have the ADP non-farm. We have factory orders, crude oil inventories. President Trump speaks at 4 p.m. So we're clear until about 10:30 a.m. We have a red folder. I think that already came out. So it's 155K, which is the actual is better than the forecast. So I guess that's good. It's still looking like we getting a little sell-off here though. So whatever that means. We're just trading the daily intraday rotation. So this fundamental stuff just affects us as the news impacts, and it creates the initial volatility. So let's see. We have FOMC member Kugler speaks at 4:30 p.m. So all of this is really outside of my time frame anyway. So let's see. All right, so that's it for the news. All right, so let's bring across trading view. We're going to start here with the channel chart. Right, so currently we're in a down channel. Those are the borders right there. Right, so those are the borders. That's the top channel border. Bottom channel, that's the mid. So we're kind of bouncing off the mid, getting a reversal, but then it's taking it all back. We had a single print here, which we did not touch, and we got the reversal here. Overnight, we started to sell off. So we're pushing back down to this. These are the TPOs, market profile, right? So we have we're pushing down through the POC of the market profile currently, and we're heading to the value area low, which is around 50. Let's see, let's get an exact number on that. 55.9975, right? So we're securely within the channel. We're kind of moving towards the mid of the channel right now. Right, so let's go over here to the Wyckoff charts. So this is a Wyckoff accumulation I'm looking at. Label it out. Let's see, let's move this from here so you can see the labels. Right. So pulling this back into perspective. All right, so these lines here are called accumulation distribution lines, right? And this is from Anna Cooling, quantum dynamic accumulation and distribution. So you could get this at Quantum Trading, and roughly is basically the touches of certain levels, and it labels how much time it has touched that level and what it did at that level. So green is support, red is resistance, right? So we have 3 touches here, resistance, another 3 touches of resistance. This was prior support. I suppose we broke down, we touched this 5 times, we broke down through support. So now we have resistance again, and we have this support here. 4 times we've touched this support, and we're breaking down below it again, right? So from the Wyckoff theory perspective, we have the automatic rally here. We pushed up, we created the uptrust up here at 58, 37.25, and now we basically pushed down. We created this kind of spring little shakeout. I would say it's a spring. It's just a minor shake below here, so it's nothing too crazy as a stop run or to squeeze out really to shake out buyers, right? So basically we're supposed to be creating some lower points of support here, which we're kind of creating that support right now. We have a higher low, right? So this one, that's a low, that's the current low right now, right? From the ETH. So if we do get a push up from here, we're supposed to create a higher high, right? So it's supposed to basically rotate out of the automatic rally, push up to the uptrust level at this level here. Right, so it's basically supposed to rotate its way out of the uptrust, retest the uptrust, create acceptance, and then create that uptrend out of the accumulation, right? So that's the price action we're looking for. If we don't get that, then we're probably going to get a much deeper shakeout, right? Before we even start pushing back out into the range, pushing back up into the range and out of the range. Now, if this accumulation fails, right, so there's more selling and they have to accumulate lower, they're going to sell their positions that they accumulated and they're going to shake even lower, right? So this is going to turn in from an accumulation structure, this is going to become a bear flag, right? So this whole thing here is just going to be a bear flag, right? If we do lose this and never come back in, it's just basically a bear flag, right? So I'm looking at it though, it's looking kind of weak, right? Because I was expecting it to push off much further out of the spring, but the spring was kind of weak as well. So I'm keeping an eye on this for continuation to the downside, right? So let's see here. We have, this is my VWAP chart. We have VWAPs anchored from the beginning of the session, and we have here from the beginning of this selling trend right here from the 26th of March, right? So, and then we have a longer term one as well, but I'm not going to go back too far. Right here, we're getting support at this lower deviation, right? This lower deviation is anchored from the beginning of the selling. So we have this support here. We're getting support here as well from it, right? So we're bouncing off of this lower deviation. We basically came back to the VWAP from this downtrend. We got 2 rejections. We hit the upper deviation from the anchored from the beginning of the week. Right here, this red line. It coincided with the VWAP from the downtrend. And let me just use the arrows. So downtrend, VWAP, white line, 2 rejections. This anchor here, this second upper deviation lined up with the VWAP. We got the rejection, right? First upper deviation, rejection, lining up with this longer term lower deviation, broke through that, came back down to this current week's VWAP, broke down, and now we're getting support here at this lower deviation from the uptrend. Now we could come down here to this week's lower deviation to find support as well. So Looking at this is a significant level here. Let me just do this real quick. Right, so if we do break down that level, I want to know. And when we do come down to the support, 55.93, I want to know. So these are levels I'm watching, 56.0975 and 55.93. Right? Possible support plays. So basically I might be looking for a short, and if it comes down to these levels, then I know to cover my positions, right? So let's go to the volume profile on the 1 hour. Let's see, let's take off some of them here. Starting with this one, this is from the beginning of the week, right? So the VPOC here, we're losing the VPOC. VPOC is from the beginning of the week is basically at 56.3850, right? We're running into a low volume node right here. High volume node is down here at 56.01, right? So let me just put alert right there, 56.01. We have this low volume node where we're bouncing off of. Let me just put an alert if we come back to the VPOC to retest it, 56, basically 56.3925. I want to know in case we get a reversal off of VPOC, right? So this is the 2-week VPOC, right? So that's landing kind of at around the same place, 56, 55, 25. We're pushing down to a low volume node, high volume node here. So this is in line with the weekly session as well. And this is a week's VPOC, right? This is a week is going back a week, right? So this is the VPOC for that level, for that time frame, my bad, 56.33. Put an alert there. Basically, the low volume and high volume nodes are around this level as well. So keep in mind of that, right? So I usually keep them all on and refer to them during the trading day. Right, so coming over here now to the weekly pivot chart. I mean, this is the 1 hour chart, right? But it's weekly levels, weekly pivot levels. So let's see here. Right, so we rejected off of the golden pivot zone, which is Camarilla R3 and central pivot for the week. So those are weekly levels, 56.8725. Let's put an alert there. Right, so this is the TC level here, 56.56. We're going down here into previous week's low, right? We bounced off of a prior VPOC level. This was from the 9th of March, right? So I have that label right there. So we're retesting that previous VPOC from that week. And basically, if we come down here, we're coming down to Camarilla S3, floor pivot S1 for support, right? So let me just put that there. So 55.58 is basically the Camarilla S3 support. Floor pivot S1, 55.4350, right? So these are the levels I'm looking at. We're looking for, basically we have a downtrending market. We're around support levels. If we retest some of these levels here, right? And I believe that's, let me just go back over here quick. Right, so this is the weekly session VPOC so far. Let's see, it's at 56.3925. So let me adjust this right here. 56.3925. Right, so that's the weekly VPOC. Weekly, my bad. This I just woke up. So this is the VPOC weekly session. right? Put an alert on that. And basically, we're looking kind of like for a retest here, maybe a continuation. If we do push above this level, then it's probably going to push back up to this level here, the golden pivot zone here, right? So coming down to the daily levels, daily pivot levels, where I really get my setups and stuff like that, where I really execute. So we're coming down here to Camaria S4. This is at 56.2250, right? So we're bouncing off of this prior VPOC. We're getting some volume here, right? So maybe we have a bunch of single prints as well. Those purple, pink lines, fuchsia lines are single prints. So we could possibly start squeezing back up to this level. Now, this is Camaria R3. Wait, hold on, no, hold on. Right, that's Camaria S3 right there. And the bottom central pivot at 56.4750, 56.4825. So what I'll be looking for around this level here is a 360 fire strategy, right? So if price comes back to retest these levels, I'm looking for a 360 fire strategy for a continuation in the downtrend, right? So it's basically a retest and sell-off strategy, right? So I'll be looking for that around VWAP, first lower deviation, first upper deviation to line up with this level right here, Camaria S3, and this is a double pivot zone as well. So I usually mark out that. Hold on, I know this is my messy chart, but just focus on the specific levels I'm pointing out, right? Let's see. All right, so I'm just labeling this this level right here. This is my copper pivot zone. Let's see. Copper pivot zone, but it turned to resistance, right? So support turn resistance. Just label that out. And I have that right there, right? So that's a double pivot zone. We'll probably short squeeze some of these single prints from the TPO market profile and probably get back up here, maybe even tag this one, maybe get a distribution set up, and we could get the short trade back down, right? So initially, this is what I'm looking for, a short squeeze and a rotation back down, right? Now, if we do sell off from this level, never regain Camaria S4, I'll be looking for the same thing right here. Sell off, retest this distribution to go lower, right? So that's basically the setup for right now. Camaria S3 and Camaria S4 retests and sell off. Look for the distribution and sell off. Now, basically, this is happening right now. You see there's a distribution around Camaria S4 and it's gonna now push down to the lows, maybe, right? So this is the kind of stuff I'm looking for when it opens. Maybe it happens around here and we get a sell-off. Or maybe it comes back to this level, creates that kind of distribution right here, and we get this continuation lower, right? All right, y'all. So it's MELEK Mikhail Shalomoh. It's MELEK Shalomoh Trading. And that was my breakdown. That's my levels I'm looking at. So I'm looking at Camaria S3, this couple pivot zone at 56.4750. I'm looking at Camaria S4 at 56.2250. And even a retest here of this level where the sellers took control, this would be around 56.36, right? And let me just adjust this. This is my overnight low. Bring that down. Overnight mid. Right. And that's overnight VPOC right there. right? So if we get a rotation back up, we could even come all the way back to overnight VPOC, right? All right, y'all. So it's Mikael Shalomo, MELEK Shelemoh Trading. That's my levels I'm looking at. That's my trade setups, looking for a 360 fire strategy. And I'm going to catch you all on the recap. All right. Shalom.